Hello everybody, this video right now is to pretty much explain the beginning process of my senior project, including everything that happened in senior project 1 up until the process and the thought process at least, that was going into senior project 2. And that is how I marketed this brand and how I came up with the brand and how I came up with a brand kit and brand tone and brand voice and everything that went into making this brand as professional looking as possible on my own accord. So the brand I came up with was a product, actually. It was a candy product called Fella Fresh Mints. The product was a mint on a stick. It was a large mint the size of an average lollipop, and it was on a green stick, and the green stick was used to indicate that your breath was fresh. So if someone saw the green stick, it'd be like, oh, they must have fresh breath because they have a mint in their mouth, because I know that brand, it's Fella Fresh. That was pretty much the idea behind the product, and the product that I was advertising and going for and pushing this entire time and advertising around. So in this project, I had to come up with advertisements for the product. I had to come up with marketing strategies for the product. I had to come up with a logo. I had to come up with a secondary logo. I had to come up with brand colors, brand tone, brand voice, brand message, everything that was going into causing a regular brand. I wanted this to be as professional looking as a brand as things like Sour Patch Kids or Doritos. So that's kind of why I wanted it to look as professional as possible, because I wanted it to resemble something that you could actually see, and maybe this could actually be a real thing is kind of what I was messing around with. So kind of like what I said in the beginning of the video, I just wanted to make this video to talk about the stuff that might go unnoticed or the stuff that I can't really talk about in the presentation, but things that I still put a lot of effort into and I'll put a lot of work into to make this brand what it is today. And things that I learned along the way of doing this project, that it's a lot more rigorous than what I was expecting when it comes to advertising a brand and creating a brand from the beginning and trying to stay consistent. And so I'll get into those things like that right now. Okay, so when I started Fella Fresh and I started doing a social media campaign, because I knew that in order to start advertising something like a made-up brand with really no budget at all, you really can only do it on social media unless you wanted to create your own website, but I didn't want to make a website for something that doesn't even exist yet. So I started advertising on social media. I created an Instagram account and a TikTok account, and I started posting on there, either videos or photos or whatever I had to post for the brand Fella Fresh. I soon figured out very fast the amount of effort that I was putting into personally into all these advertisements and all these graphics and whatever I was going to put out that day on whatever content I was going to post was a lot harder to put together, and it took more time than I believed, which is one thing that I did not think was going to happen going into this project. Every single font that I picked, I had to put a shadow on. I had to go download individual fonts because I wanted to do this right. I didn't want to make something that I wasn't going to be proud of. I wanted it to look, like I said, as real as possible. So I was putting in a lot of effort trying to make things look as professional as possible, and it really made me grow a respect for graphic designers or those who make advertisements, because I knew that it was a lot of work, but doing it so consistently for the same brand and trying to stay up fresh and new is a lot harder than people make it seem. And the last thing I wanted to talk about that I thought might go unnoticed was the campaign and marketing strategies that I was running as a brand and trying to make it look more legitimate. So I knew that to market a brand correctly, you have to be consistent and you have to do the same things. You have to stick to a thing that works. So I wanted to try 3 different marketing strategies or 3 different campaigns that I was running at the same time. The first being a war on gum is what I called it. And since Fella Fresh is a mint, it's a mint lollipop, naturally, the opposition to mint is gum. So I wanted to do a war on gum, where pretty much we were making fun of gum as a product in general, not like a certain brand, to not belittling other brands, but just gum as a product, just saying that mints are better than gums and Fella Fresh is the best mint.
I'll never chew gum again.
I'm walking and I got gum on my shoes.
I would never trust a gum chewing, bubble smacking.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, gum sucks.
And so yeah, that was the first marketing strategy that we ran with. The second one was a celebrity endorsement. These were fake celebrity endorsements that I pretty much just put together with some tricky advertising and graphic design that make them look real. Nowadays on social media, you really don't know what to believe, so you just see a celebrity's face next to a quote and it looks pretty believable. The third campaign that I tried to run, or marketing tactic at least, is I wanted to make Fella Fresh look like a luxury item. Like I wanted people to see them and get like the same excitement they see when they see like their favorite candy or like an expensive gum or like something very nice and like, ooh, I want to try that. So just made a bunch of advertisements and put out a bunch of things that make it seem desirable or make it seem like it's a very luxury, top-notch product. Also, I know that I said that was the last thing, but I just wanted to go over the fact that I made the packaging for this product. Originally, I wanted to have a sample to try to bring in on the actual presentation day, but it's very hard to make your own lollipops, especially like the way I wanted to make them. It's an expensive process just to make like 15 of them, but my goal was to have the packaging done, and I think that came out very well. Like I said, I wanted to make that look like an actual real package, and I wanted the packaging to not look so minimal. I feel like that's a thing that's very common nowadays, so I wanted to look like something that I personally would grab and want to try. Pretty much that is the creation process of making of Fella Fresh and making of my senior project and coming up with a brand and marketing it as your own. Now, for the presentation, I will go over the outcomes that I found.